Hey everybody, Scott here for the Helix channel / HX Stomp channel. I'm just going to start calling it the HX Stomp channel pretty soon. Be ready for that. Today, I'm starting the 4 days of Christmas. Thursday, Friday, Monday, and Tuesday. Free sets every day for the next 4 days. And today, is this a little crooked? Looks a little crooked. Is that better? I don't know. Today, one of my favorite songs from the 80s, Say What You Will by Fastway. Fast Eddie Clarke on guitar, Pete Way on bass. Fastway. Not really a brain trust, let's just say. But Pete Way loved to name bands after himself. I saw him play with Wasted, W-A-Y-S-T-E-D. They opened for Rat, I believe, in 87, 88, something like that. The Dancing Undercover tour, I believe. So, Pete Way, man, from UFO. He was everywhere for a while. But today, yes, Say What You Will. Not only am I going to show you how to recreate the sound, I'm going to show you how to play the riff. Ha! Jeez, what more can I do for you people? I'm telling you. Let's work on this riff. It's a super fun riff, super easy to play. Now he starts it off by playing an octave with the A, and then on the D string at the 7th fret, the octave. So he only does that once, but he plays the note twice. And then he'll play 3 notes in succession on the G string, starting with the C note at the 5th fret. Then he'll do a from the 5th to the 6th. Then he'll go from the, what do you call it? The 4th string, the D string, from the 7 to the 5, then the 7 on the A string. Then double stops at the 7th fret using the middle strings, the 3rd and 4th string. So basically, you know, playing a D and a C chord. Then resolving with the A chord. So all together slowly. And I always go back to the A at the 7th fret on the D string instead of playing the open A. And I believe that's what he does on the record after the first time. Whoops. Here we are over at the HX Stomp. Let's go back to the beginning on this sucker. Turn on the volume. And we have, actually the very beginning, there's always a gate on my presets. It doesn't even matter if it's a clean preset, because sometimes I use the single coil on my JTV59, which is split. The neck pickup, I can split it in both ways, so I can use either one of the single coils. And they're a little bit noisier than the humbucker, which is, you know, this goes without saying, really. But I like to have a gate on, so I always have a gate on. And I'm using the valve driver. Now, you're going to notice a few parameters are white instead of the usual burnt umber. And the reason for that is I have them snapshot enabled. And if I press the number 2 snapshot, you'll see a couple of changes. Well, one change actually. Here's the other one. The level goes from 6.6 to 6.9. So there's 2 snapshots in this. Snapshot 1 is your rhythm sound, and then snapshot 2 is your lead sound. So you don't need to use an external boost on this one, because there's not a whole lot going on guitar-wise, just a straight up, 80s rock song. Now, the other parameters, they just stay the same. The bass, 5, treble 3, nothing special. And then moving on to the amp. The amp of the day is the Brit Plexi Jump. And it is definitely what, Fast Eddie Clarke was playing back then. And, he was a Marshall Plexi guy. And so I wanted to be, close to the original. So, ta-da. And a couple of parameters change on this when you go to the number 2 snapshot for the lead. A little more gain, which is fun. I love to have a little more gain when I hit leads, so why the hell not? And the treble goes down. The channel volume goes up a little bit. The presence comes down. Master comes up. The let's see what happens. The hum comes down, ripple goes down, bias goes up. I like to crank the bias a little bit more for leads. You get a little bit more from the amp, I find. Now, some other stuff that's happening. I've got the 412 greenback cab. It's probably my favorite built-in cab. And this is my favorite microphone. And I almost always have the distance set to about 3 seconds. So a couple things happen when you press this. It gets rid of a tiny little bit of the bottom end, because the solo doesn't have a bunch of bassy bottom end to it. The high cuts change as well. Reflections drop down a bit. And the reflections are an interesting thing, because you get almost a room reverb kind of sound without having to have a reverb in chain. So I'm able to do this whole sound with just 3 blocks, which is really sweet. For the lead, that drops down a little bit because it's less noticeable. The next block is the simple pitch. Now, an important part of this sound is, especially for the intro riff, because it sounds to me like he doubled it. And to make something mimic a doubled sound, a real easy way to do it is to add some delay inside of either the simple pitch or the dual pitch. So I like about between 20 and 30 milliseconds for something like that, and a little bit of pitch shifting on this one, because it does have a little bit of that old tape warble happening, and that old records from that period have. So the mix changes between here's snapshot 1 going up to snapshot 2. The delay comes down because he's playing a single note riff, and he's playing it. I don't think he's doubling himself on that, but I'm not 100% sure. And then here's the mix before, and then here's the mix during the solo. Whew! There you go, everybody. Oh, the first day of Christmas. This guy gave to you some kick-ass rock from the 80s. The fuck more do you want? Just saying. So, if you would like this preset, not that you can't just recreate it, there's only 3 blocks. Come on! Drop me a line. I'm going to try and get it up on my website by this weekend. I'm really great about that. So, your best bet is dropping me a line. I'll be back tomorrow with another one. And I'm just going to recreate songs for the next 4 days, or 3 more days. So, come on back for that. Don't forget, there's a link. You can purchase the HX Stomp Union Jacks presets in the description. Good times. 10 presets, 3 snapshots each, with a boost. External, that is, an external boost. And if you have an external boost attached, you can get all your lead sounds. If you don't, well, that's on you. So, I'll see you tomorrow. And until then,